Never seen a rope, pop out like the boogeyman, thought you seen a ghost. Yeah, pressure, so impressive. Ain't no pressure, no pressure. So impressive, yeah, I'm pressure.
Welcome back, man. You know what I'm saying? We are back for another one. You already know it's your boy Don Mello, man. And today we got this one is the interesting one, man. I actually thought this one was gonna be like swept under the rug, but apparently it hasn't been swept under the rug because now new evidence is coming out about David. Now, if you don't know who David is, it's the a singer, an upcoming singer, who was involved in an investigation for the murder of Celeste Rivas, which was an underage girl he was allegedly dating that was found in the trunk of his Tesla whip. Now, a lot of people, were up in an uproar because they were thinking that the police weren't, were just kind of like blowing this case over, right? But that ain't the case, man. New evidence has appeared, and at first they were claiming, well, the blogs were saying that he's not identified as a suspect, but we all know now that's not true. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and get into it, man. Let's go ahead and see what's going on, man.
Body of 14-year-old Celeste Riva Hernandez was found in the trunk of singer David's Tesla. When the story first broke, it captivated the world. It became a tragic murder mystery that was unfolding. The body of 14-year-old Celeste Riva Hernandez was found in the trunk of singer David's Tesla. When the story first broke, it captivated the world. It became a tragic murder mystery that was unfolding in real time. At the center of the story was the predatory relationship between a well-known artist and a young middle school girl. A relationship that in everyone's eyes ended in her murder. While most murder mysteries usually start with the suspect being a mystery, that wasn't the case with this story. Since day one, all the signs pointed at David, with eerie foreshadowing in his music videos and song lyrics that sounded more like a confession than a song. Just about everybody had come to the conclusion that David was likely the culprit behind it all. But even when all the signs were pointing at him, the authorities claimed he wasn't being investigated as a suspect.
And honestly, I feel like they did that on purpose just for the simple fact that we're trying to maybe throw him off to make him think that everything was okay. Because I'm pretty sure they had PIs all over this case, just investigating, bro. And his every move. Just to kind of see if they can get any details, and also they don't want they got to be strategic about how they go about things. So that's just my theory though. But let's go.
This confused everyone as there was so much evidence pointing to David, but for some reason the authorities seem to be protecting him, as they have gone out of their way to ensure that David wasn't a suspect. But recently, some key information has been revealed that might not only confirm that David is being protected, but also that this was all premeditated. Hey,
hold on.
Quick question. Have you ever hit record on a video and thought, what the heck am I going to say? You're not alone. Most coaches guess their way through video ads and driving traffic, and it's exactly why they don't convert. But this right here changes everything. It's called the 60-second script, and it breaks down.
Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about the new information the authorities revealed about David and how it might confirm that this was all premeditated. Let's get right into it. By now, we all know the tragic story of Celeste Riva Hernandez, the girl who was discovered in the trunk of a Tesla owned by the well-known artist David. At first, no one knew what to think. No one would have imagined this young 20-year-old famous singer would be behind something so horrifying. At the beginning, some people thought that maybe they stole his car and used it to hide her body. But as details began to emerge, it became clear that David not only knew this person, but was in a forbidden relationship with her. a relationship that seemingly led to her demise. With each passing day, new details emerged that kept making David look more and more guilty. First, it was revealed that he made a song called Celeste where he's singing about a girl named Celeste. Then it was revealed that Celeste's mother claimed her daughter was dating a boy named David, hinting at a possible relationship between the two. Then, it was the live stream. The speculations on whether David had actually been dating Celeste ended when videos emerged of a past live stream where David was seen with Celeste. In the video, they were seen together, confirming what everyone thought. Then it was Celeste's teacher confirming the story, and David's neighbors confirming that they had seen Celeste going to his home. Pretty much everything pointed to David, and when we were all expecting the authorities to reveal they were investigating him, they caught everyone off guard when they instead released a statement saying he wasn't even a suspect. To me and just about everyone else who's heard this, it didn't make any sense. At a minimum, David should have been identified as a person of interest and a possible suspect, but for some reason, he was strangely being cleared. This right here never made sense to me, and I felt that this was again celebrity favoritism. Since David is a rich celebrity signed to a powerful record label, the authorities treat him like he's more important than others. I can almost guarantee you that if David were just an everyday regular person and not a rich celebrity,
And that is facts too, because you already know the powers that be, especially with these record labels, man, they are tied politically. That is a known fact. You know, they're not just regular smuggler. You know what I mean? They got political ties to these judges, to these police. You know, the whole nine. If you don't believe me, just look at Rock Nation. Do your deep dive into Rock Nation, and it'll take you down a rabbit hole. You'll see exactly what I mean. So that was what I was thinking too. I feel like the powers that be were protecting him, and who knows? This could be like a sacrifice or whatever. You know, that's just my theory though. You know what I mean? But yeah, that threw me off as well, because it's like, wow, if this had been anybody else on the street, trust me, they would have been locked up that day. Especially you being black. Come on now.
he would have been identified as a suspect long ago. But for obvious reasons, the authorities were protecting him. Now, after what was recently revealed, that doesn't seem so far-fetched. Just a few days back, after months of all signs pointing to David being guilty, the authorities finally revealed he's a suspect, which honestly is 2 months too late. The investigators also revealed that although David has been identified as a suspect, he hasn't been interviewed yet. They also claim that David wasn't being cooperative, even though early in the investigation, he was being cooperative. Something else they stated that isn't that surprising was that David isn't the only suspect, now hinting at a second suspect. It was reported by the media that the LAPD homicide detectives have identified a second suspect in the death of Celeste Rivas, making a major breakthrough in the ongoing investigation. They claim to have made this development using sophisticated tracking methods that revealed connections between multiple individuals and a mysterious nighttime journey in the Tesla last spring.
Ooh, it's getting spicy out here, man. That's crazy.
Y'all already know how I feel about Output plugins. I absolutely love them. And right now, Output One is on sale for 30% off. All for
According to a lawyer who has a police source involved in the investigation, the second suspect may have been involved before, during, and after Rivas' death. Detectives analyzed cell phone data, Tesla vehicle information, and location data from social media platforms to establish a timeline of events and identified patterns that connected the suspect to key moments in the investigation. The authorities revealed that both David and the second suspect went on a mysterious trip to a remote area in Santa Barbara. They claim to have uncovered evidence that might suggest Celeste's body was in the trunk during the trip, hinting at the possibility that David and this unknown accomplice made this trip in the middle of the night looking for a place to dump Celeste's body. Obviously, since the body was then found in that same Tesla, David must have not gone through with it. Now, on top of all of this, another source who is close to this case reported that Celeste's body showed signs of having been frozen. This is a very crucial detail, as I myself believe this is what happened when I first reported on this 2 months ago. If you saw my first video, then you already know I already said that I believe she was frozen. And now the authorities are revealing that Celeste might have been dead for months. I believe David might have killed Celeste months before her body was found, and he then kept her body from decomposing by storing her in a freezer. Meaning her death could have taken place around the same time David was releasing videos where he showed a body being placed in the trunk of a car. Which to me, again, points to something much more sinister
Now
happening.
that's the crazy part about it, because it's like all his music and his even the visuals that he had are like reflecting this whole case. Like everything is just it's too similar, you know. And he's getting rid of a dead body, put it in the trunk. We find a dead body in his Tesla in the trunk. He has all these songs talking about how he unalived this person named Celeste. Ironically, the person who was unalive in this actual case is named Celeste. This nigga's diabolical, bro. You got to be a psycho. No, what is it called? There's a difference. There's a psycho, and then there's an Hold on one second. All right. Y'all can see me.
To Celeste. Like you likely heard many times already from the thousands of people who covered this, David often showed a girl who looked awfully like Celeste in many of his videos. He also showed these Celeste lookalikes meeting their demise in these videos as well. For example, in his romantic homicide music video, the Celeste lookalike in the video appears to not only be gone, but being used in some sort of dark ritual. Like I broke down in my last David video, the music video has plenty of occult references. When Celeste is shown in the music video, she is seen lying on a bed wearing a white dress with blood everywhere. You can notice that there are candles lined up all over the room, like seen in a ritual. All while David stares at her demonically. The entire scene looks very ritualistic. When you understand symbolism, you understand that everything is used for a reason. Like we see with the Celeste lookalike wearing a white dress in the music video. That was put in there for a symbolic meaning. In the occult, those who are sacrificed are often dressed in white to represent purity and innocence. This could reference Celeste in not only being innocent because of her young age, but literally depicting the sacrifice of an innocent. This video isn't just art. It's a confession. It was
So there's a psychopath and then there's a sociopath. So I want to say David is a sociopath. Yeah, so I want to say he's a sociopath because, yeah. So, trauma, unstable, upbringing. Oh wait, no. So he might be a psychopath because they said the psychopath is you're born that way, and a sociopath you're made that way. So
was foreshadowing what he was planning on doing all along. Since this happened years before Celeste was found, people think it would be far-fetched that any of this was about Celeste. But I believe otherwise. From all my research into the occult, I have learned that some rituals unfold over the...
Look at what he's doing. Y'all remember the last video when they was talking about DDG doing the hand symbol? Look. Doing the hand symbol, you know what I'm saying, with the hand in the jacket. Look at what he's doing. Hand in the shirt. One eye open, one eye closed.
course of years, and I see evidence that would suggest what David did to Celeste was clearly ritualistic. It's the reason why he depicted Celeste being sacrificed in this music video. As crazy as that sounds, think about it. This was one of David's breakout hits, a video that shows him sacrificing a girl who looks awfully similar to the girl who was found in his trunk. I believe the information about the body being found showing signs it was previously frozen proves this was in fact a ritual sacrifice. You guys might remember how I spoke about David using death imagery during his recent tour. Like I said previously, David's tour, which was taking place alongside the police discovering Celeste's body, had a lot of questionable imagery. During the performance, the guests reported seeing a casket set up and a place to write letters to dead loved ones. Think about this for a second. While Celeste's body was being found, David was setting up caskets at his performances hinting at a death. This lets me know one thing. David wanted her body to be found alongside his tour commencing. It was all planned. That's why he was setting up a casket at his shows. This was supposed to represent her funeral, the completion of the sacrifice, which was celebrated unknowingly by his fans. Remember,
Hey man, this music industry is demonic as hell, bro. Not even gonna hold you. It's very demonic. They got this must be getting a lot of ads on this, boy.
Eve Online on
Let's do it up.
Rituals are all about harvesting energy. What better place to harvest energy for a ritual than a performance with thousands of people directing their energy to the center of the stage? This performance and her body being found were all a part of the ritual. David wanted her body to be found when it got found. That's why he left it in his own Tesla. David had the chance to get rid of the body and even the Tesla, but he didn't. He traveled with the body to a remote area in the middle of the night and didn't get rid of the car or the body. Instead of getting rid of the body, any of those chances he had, he instead went on tour and left it in his trunk. The car was obviously left out there with a body so that it could be found. He could have left the body anywhere and it wouldn't have immediately pointed to him. Now, the fact that she was also previously frozen tells us he was storing her body in a freezer to preserve it and prevent it from fully decomposing. Also, the body could be found while he was on tour, like some sick twisted marketing ploy. It was all a ritual. All his music videos and songs are telling us this. He was never only interested in Celeste as a girlfriend. He wanted to destroy her innocence in every way and consume it. What I believe truly happened was that David got himself involved in occult practices in order to further his career. He started talking to Celeste and chose her to be a sacrifice. He then made several songs and videos foreshadowing the sacrifice, leading up to the moment where he actually did it. He then kept her body on ice in order to have her body be found while he was doing performances depicting her funeral, symbolizing her death. Now, considering how this case has unfolded, it's clear David is being protected. I believe the reason David hasn't been arrested is due to some powerful people who encourage his twisted behavior, helping him cover it up. This is why the police are being so hands-off with him. We all know that anyone else would have been arrested already, but David wasn't even a suspect until just a few days ago. This already seems like the police are protecting him, but after what was recently revealed, we can pretty much confirm that's exactly what they're doing. Just yesterday, it was reported that the authorities working on the Celeste case contacted the coroner's office instructing them to keep all information private about Celeste's autopsy. Now, the coroner's office refused their request and is currently trying to fight this in order to be able to reveal this vital information. Even they felt it was odd that the authorities will request they withhold this information from the public. Think about it. Since the beginning, the authorities have acted like David had nothing to do with this. When they finally admit he might be involved, they try to hide information that proves it from the public.
And I feel like the only reason why they even did that is simply because for one, they trying to protect their asset, make money off of them. They're making money off of them, so obviously, yeah. And then two, they want to protect him. Damn, I forgot exactly what I was gonna say about that. But they haven't. They're keeping him. Oh no, the only reason why they mentioned him to be a suspect all of a sudden now, I feel like, is because now the public has really been like really been pressing the issue. So you know, they're gonna, you know, just to get people off his back and just, you know, get control. It's all about control, man. If you can control the media, you can control the people. They give you a little something in what you want, just so you can shut up about it. You know, it's kind of like giving candy to a baby, so it could be quiet.
Now, on top of this, the authorities also came out and denied that Celeste's body was dismembered and frozen when it was found, claiming that it wouldn't make any sense. Again, seeming like covering things up. But the thing is, others connected to the case doubled down and told TMZ that the coroners confirmed this themselves.
I want to see the interrogation, man. Like, that's when we're going to get to see, like, the, you know, the nitty gritty.
EVE Online on Mac immerses you in a universe with thousands.
An LAPD captain is disputing
Man,
part of a
this nigga
story that
Harvey
we
getting
broke over the
old.
weekend. A story about David, the singer David, and the body that was found in his Tesla, that body of Celeste Rivas. And the part of our story that we broke over the weekend was that that the remains of Celeste were partially frozen when they were found in the Tesla. This was back in early September, first week in September, when they discovered this when David's car had been towed to an LA tow yard. Well, the LAPD captain is saying that the body was not frozen.
So herein lies the issue. We have a very well-connected source connected to the medical examiner, the LA County medical examiner, which currently has the body. And that source has doubled, tripled, quadrupled, and sextupled down, actually, now, saying that the body was indeed partially frozen when it was received by law enforcement. So that's kind of interesting, but the medical examiner is just telling a different story, or at least the sources we have, and we have sources in all camps in this, there's a conflict here.
We'd heard that there had been this conflict between LAPD and the medical examiner.
There's been tension for several years, but this is kind of interesting. One of the documents at the LA County Medical Examiner's office has an interesting statement. This has to do with trying to fingerprint Celeste's body. It says the decedent was not live scanned due to waterlogged fingers. Well, that's kind of interesting.
Right. Why would the fingers
be waterlogged?
Waterlogged. Well, certainly if the body had been frozen for quite some time and then is sitting in a bag in this Tesla out in the blazing hot summer sun, yeah, you would imagine that there's going to be some water in that bag.
So you've got to kind of like look at the big picture here.
To me, all this points to a cover-up. It also indicates that whatever David is doing is connected to powerful people. It's clear that we are not being told the truth about this story, something that has become all too common when it comes to situations involving powerful rich people. Even after the cops named David as a person of interest, I still feel they're not doing enough to bring justice to Celeste and her family, a young girl who had her whole life ahead of her. I warned about how dark the music industry truly is, how dark the price for fame gets. David is the perfect example of that, likely made to dance with the devil for a moment in the spotlight. And Celeste was his price of admission. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll...
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I really want to see, like, the interrogation, man, because that's gonna tell a lot. That's gonna tell a lot of what we want to know, man. I promise you. You'll be able to see the body language, you know, how he responds to certain questions. Like, now, let this have been any other person from the ghetto, bruh, that would have been locked up right that day, that hour. You know what I mean? They'd probably already be sentenced by now. But because he's a celebrity, and these celebrities have people in high places, right? You can get away with murder. So we just gonna, you know, keep playing it by ear. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone.
Pop out like the boogeyman.